Hello again, and it's double digits time. Not hand gestures, but weeks. This is now week 10 of this series, and we are in 1981. Thanks for sticking with me so far. Some years are just oddballs. Last time out, 1980, I went back and forth on my decision a few times before settling on my choice. No such problems this time. I had a very clear favourite, which refused to be budged. This one skews to the poppier end of the spectrum for this year, but a couple of potential rivals were the Human League's huge commercial breakthrough album, Dare, an album that spawned 4 top 20 singles in the UK, making them arguably the first of the new pop acts to connect big time. Also, just missing out, Grace Jones' Night Clubbing album. I love this record. Grace, Sly and Robbie, funky, reggae, inflected, post-punk, post-disco. It's heavy on the cover versions, I'll admit, but it all just works. Going a bit more difficult, a bit less pop, The Cure's Faith. Yes, that was in the mix. The middle of that dark trilogy, Goth As You Like, but staying, for me, on the post-punk side of the equation rather than, tipping over into the Bats in the Belfry territory. And also just missing, Brian Eno, David Byrne's My Life in the Bush of Ghosts. A bit of a landmark in both kind of world music and a sampling context. It's just super, super influential. Despite all those, I stuck to my guns. This album was home to a pop single. They shared the same title, actually. A single that would artfully walk that tightrope between post-punk and shiny new pop. Yeah, a single that was seemingly precision-tuned to get preteen kids all worked up and overexcited. That single, and yes, the album of the same name, was Happy Birthday by Altered Images. Who else would you put into the same category at this time? Bow Wow Wow for sure, although their Go Wild in the Country single didn't come out until January of 82. Hazy Fantasy maybe, although they always came off as a bit creepy to me, even back then as a kid. Yeah, if you write a song called Happy Birthday, you give it a maddeningly repetitive chorus of, let me check my notes, Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday. If you look like you're having immense fun, then Bob's Your Uncle. October 1981, number 2 in the charts. Remember, these were the days when the manufactured pop machine was barely ticking over, and labels were more than happy to take a chance on young, Peel-endorsed acts to put them in a fancy studio and just to see what came out the other end. It very much felt like the labels were still smarting a little from punk and a little less fearful when it came to up-and-coming, young, kind of buzz bands. And Altered Images had a bit of buzz about them, and they were certainly very young. Lead singer Claire Grogan was, 17, 18 when they formed? By my reckoning, one of the first true post-punk bands, by which I mean forming entirely after the punk explosion. They got together in 1979, and taking most of their musical inspiration directly from the first wave punks who turned post-punk themselves. That all sounds awfully muddled. Maybe this will help. All 5 members of the band were fully paid up members of the official Susie and the Banshees fan club. Bless them. In fact, it was the Banshees who gave them their first break, booking them as tour support in 1980 to promote the Kaleidoscope album. And after that, the dominoes fell thusly. Banshees tour, Peel session, record deal, 3 singles, number 2 in the charts, and the album. All in the space of about 18 months. Very, very nice work if you can get it. Oh, the album, yes. Steve Severin of the Banshees produced it for them, but hot off recording Dare for the Human League, the label secured Martin Rushard to record the single, clearly spotting a winning recipe from a mile off. But the album, it is coloured by a little of that 80s LP phenomenon. It's a little rushed. It's not all 100% successful, and it's padded with intro and outro refrains from the hit single. But give them their due, the band's Banshees worship, it cuts through very clearly, meaning this is no kind of lather, rinse, repeat record stuffed with retreads of the big hit. Love and Kisses is quite lovely, a kissing cousin to the Passions' I'm in love with a German film star maybe. And they repeat the trick on Real Toys. It's a great formula to double down on if, you love that chorused, dreamy, goth light stuff. And Honestly, I'm a bit of a sucker for it. I guess the elephant in the room with Altered Images is Claire Grogan's voice. Just too helium and distracting for some. And I'll admit, it would get unbearably so, even for me, by 1983's Bite album. But here, 1981, a young band, their debut album, doing their thing. I don't mind it at all. The whole thing is so painfully simple and effortless sounding. Faithless sounds like a 17 seconds outtake to me, which, given how much I like that particular Cure album, it should be taken as a compliment. A Day's Wait, which was the band's second single just before Happy Birthday hit big, that's a favourite too. And Insects, almost a Toy Town take on Wire's I Am the Fly. I'm not over-egging this one. It's not the greatest album, but it's a significant one for me. I have very fond memories of it. In retrospect, I probably prefer the follow-up album, Pinky Blue, a bit more. But yeah, I just remember the effect of seeing kids, not a million years away from me, age-wise, having the time of their lives on Top of the Pops. And that's how I remember Altered Images, this album, and this song. And that's 1981. I'm sure everyone out there has an album on their shelf that is in the same kind of category. It's not a great record, but it means something to you. Why not share below? Let us know what yours is. Cheers for watching this far. Please give it a like or subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really does kind of help me get the channel going places. But that's it. I will see you again very soon. You take care, and bye for now.